everybody not going to make it because they're stupid. If you come to Invest Fest, right, there's 20,000 people that come per day and there's 80 workshops. Now, if you can't learn something, it costs $250. Let's put it in perspective. So if you can't get $250 worth of 80 workshops, then you're not capable of learning. Mm. And if you're not able to make at least 3 relationships in a room with 20,000 people, then it's not going to happen for you anyway. Mm. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's 2025, you got to be told that, you're not going to meet Steve Harvey. That's obvious. But if you go into Invest Fest, like, damn, this is my one shot of meeting Tyler Perry, and I'm like, you're going to bypass 80 panels, you're going to bypass 300 vendors, you're going to bypass 20,000 people and feel disappointed because you didn't meet Tyler Perry, you're not an intelligent person.
Yo, what's poppin', man? You know what time it is. Your boy J Hill, J Hill Podcast. We in the building. Special guest to my left, Troy Rashad, Earn Your Leisure, Assets Over Liabilities. One of the biggest, if not the biggest, financial podcast. How would I say? Financial literacy podcast.
Media conglomerates.
Yeah, I know y'all was gonna say that. Yeah, I know you. Do you? Speaking of it, like, well, Troy Rashad, what's up, man? Welcome to the show.
What's going on, bro?
Shout out to Bel Air. We are in the Bel Air studios. Thank you for allowing me to host the episode here. But let's go right into it.
Yeah,
I was going to be like, financial literacy podcast, like, man, media conglomerate. Do you feel like y'all get the respect y'all deserve in the media space?
Do we get the respect we deserve?
Do people even understand?
Yeah, I think it takes time. I think our community definitely understands what we've done. I think the podcast space especially.
In the media space, though.
That's what I'm saying. In the media space, I think we're still kicking down the doors. So when you see us on platforms like Bloomberg or CNBC, we got to kick down that door a few more times to make sure that this is something that's legit. And we understand what the mission is. Sometimes traditional media, it takes too long. And by the time it takes for them to understand, we've created a whole new media platform. And what you've seen is that, right? Like, we have shows like yours, other people in the finance space that have decided, like, the traditional way of media and how people are learning has changed. And this is the new route. So it's cool that they didn't catch on because we just created something and showed the worth of it.
No, so I think from my perspective, I don't think nobody really fully appreciated it, but that's the thing about being exceptional. You're never really going to get appreciated in the real time because when you do exceptional things, after a while it becomes normalized, especially if you're consistent. Like, the worst thing that you can do if you want credit for something is be consistent. The best thing that you can do if you want credit for something is be inconsistent. What I mean by that, like, if you do one thing one time, right, that's going to have a high level of reverence and respect because it's like, damn, like, this shit is amazing. No disrespect at all because she's one of my favorites of all time. But let's take a Lauryn Hill, right? Lauryn Hill has one album, right? But that one album is always going to be a holy grail. Now, if she would have had 10 albums, no matter how good the 10 albums would have been, it would have got criticized. It would have got compared to her first album. It would have been like, oh, she's not the same as she used to be. She fell off just because people like to spin a narrative. So I think if you look at us as far as what we've been able to do in 5 years, okay, put together the biggest financial conference in the world, not in America, in the world, not for black people, for anybody, right? Like, we have a New York Times best-selling book. We have 3 shows in the top 100 as far as podcasts are concerned. We have a school curriculum for high schools in New York City and looking to expand that all over in America. We're developing 400-acre real estate project in Ghana, right? So when you look at that, it's unprecedented. But most people, the average person will just say like, oh, they have a podcast. Black, white, our community, not our community, like, that's how they kind of look at it because it's like when you just consistently doing something over the course of time, it's just like overload. So it's never going to be fully appreciated for what is currently happening because it's hard to have an appreciation when that, you know what I mean? Like, it's just always something new. So it's like, okay, yeah, what do you recognize them the most as? And what you recognize them the most as is somebody that has a podcast.
Or the first time you saw them. The first time you saw us was a podcast.
Yeah. No, that's right. Even like, I think of 50 Cent, he had probably more than one project, but we all remember that Get Rich or Die Trying, right? Yeah. Because then he went into films, and even people like Joe, like he was a really good rapper. People that know, but you want that, but like, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm doing podcasts now. Damn, that's crazy. So how hands-on are y'all when it comes to the media space? Because we done seen some. Me personally, I look at it, maybe not the average consumer, like some really dope productions. Like I look at the one y'all did with Milan, I think that's her name, from Philly. That was like fire. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, how hands-on are y'all, or is that the team y'all telling them the vision? Like,
for that one, that was our show with Revolt. The Milan episode. I mean, we try to be as hands-on as possible in terms of curating the topics and figuring out which talent is going to make sense. From a production standpoint, we're always watching, right? Because we're here on a set, but I want to know what cameras they're using. I want to know what the connectivities. I want to know the lens. I want to know the lighting. Because when we go back to do our own joint, it's independent, and so I want to make sure it feels that same way. We as hands on as possible.
Yo, how was the? Because we talk about the two shows, right? And that's another thing that, as a creator, I'm looking like, yo, these niggas is genius. So when y'all sign on to Revolt, right, assets over liabilities, of course, is a different name. Essentially, like it looks the same to the people, right? But I'm like, it's a different name, so they don't own what they got going on. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, was that a new show? Did y'all fight for that, or that's something that they brought to the table? What was the thought process behind that?
We was in talk with Revolt for a while, and we was just trying to figure out even before the pandemic, and then after the pandemic, they really wanted to kind of do something. So we already had Earn Your Leisure. So it's like, all right, you can't get that. Like, you know what I mean? Unless this is a whole different conversation if you're trying to get in on that. Then we have Market Mondays. That doesn't really fit what you're trying to do. So it's like, all right, let's create something new, right? So that's been a part of our business model from the beginning also, is that we're independent. That's what drives the boat as far as Invest Fest, Market Mondays, now Blackout, Earn Your Leisure. But you can only scale so far just by yourself.
Right.
So now we leverage other corporate relationships and other bigger brands, and it's a win-win situation because it's like, okay, now we can have this partnership like we have with Revolt, which, like you said, is still cloaked under the Earn Your Leisure umbrella, assets over liabilities. That's something that we actually trademark. We own that. But it's synonymous with our brand also, right? But now it gives us more of a reach. So we're able to have, like you said, a higher level of production and do different things and on site. And we did great interviews with Ross and T.I. We had a lot of like legendary interviews with that, right? And that was a great relationship, lasted for a couple of years. And that's similar to like what we did with United Masters. So we was having different events all over at like the largest cultural moments. Like we did Art Basel for 3 years, South by Southwest, New York Fashion Week. So we created an entity with United Masters called Earn Your Masters. And that was United Masters, us, and it was sponsored by Ally. But once again, that was leveraging like United Masters and, you know, their relationships and their bandwidth to kind of further the Earn Your Leisure flag. Because even if that relationship is not around anymore, but people still remember it, it still gave us the clout on it. So I think that for independent, that's the new version of independence. If you're really trying to go to the next level, is like you can still maintain your independence while still working with bigger entities to help grow your brand. It's only going to help what you got going on the independent side. And even when that relationship is over, people are still going to recognize and still know you for the things that you did with the majors, as opposed to just giving all your IP to the majors and not owning anything.
Yeah, iHeart was the same situation. We were with Black Effect. It was, you know, when Kanye had that interview, when he was talking about fashion, he was like, we got to go to the manufacturer. So you got to think about these big corporates as a manufacturer. What can we learn while we're inside here, right? How do they approach revenue? How do they approach ads? How do they approach events? And so we get to learn that. How do they approach uploads and tracking analytics? And so we get to see that firsthand. We having meetings every 2 weeks. So we get to see from the heads, like, all right, this is how they do it. All right, because one time we're going to be back to being independent, and we can go ahead and start that vision again. I think the assets over liabilities joint was pretty dope because, number one, like you said, we did trademark it. So we own the name for the show. But you remember, like, a lot of our clothing was assets over liabilities. So it was another way to promote the clothing at the same time as promote this show that we were doing at some dope locations with some dope people.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, how big was the show before y'all signed on to Revolt? Because, again, we look at creators that's like coming up, and we want to be a part of these big brands. We want to. It's like the dude from the hood trying to be signed. Like, everybody want to be a rapper, right? So we got like NBA dreams, I call it, right? Hoop dreams. So when you I asked how big were y'all, because what gave you the confidence to be like, well, you can't get Earn Your Leisure, because that got to be a different conversation. Whereas though most people in that situation like, man, I want anything, I'm going to get in however I can.
Now, Earn Your Leisure was already pretty big.
Okay.
Like, it was already pretty big, top 20 podcasts in business. And,
Okay.
we was already hitting a lot of big numbers on YouTube and stuff like that. So by the time, like when they first came, we wasn't as big, but they kind of waited. So when they came back and they was really ready, the ship had already sailed.
Okay.
And they knew that though, but they knew that. So they kind of already didn't really even have a conversation about like Earn Your Leisure. They're just like, what can we do? Because they kind of knew like, we had already reached a point where it was, out of here. So
Y'all fault.
Yeah.
You wait.
The initial conversations and the ones that actually turned into the deal were a lot different.
You think it's better to wait? I know, because again, bro, as creatives coming on the up and up, like we hungry, you want it now, right? But like from y'all experience, do you think it's better to wait, or do you get in as fast as possible? Yo, look, I know you're enjoying the episode right now, but just give me a few seconds of your time so I can help you upgrade yourself and get to the bag. I have the #1 AI community on the school app for non-tech savvy users. And on this community, they're going to have 6, 7, and 8-figure AI experts teaching you how to use AI. This is way bigger than ChatGPT. Yeah, they're going to teach you how to use ChatGPT more effectively and build better prompts, but they also going to show you how to build ebooks, create websites, and chatbots. They're also going to show you how to create images, voiceovers, and music using AI. This is something that you do not want to miss out on, because this is going to help you automate your business so you can get paid every single month. Yo, we got bills that come out of our bank accounts every month. Therefore, we should be getting paid automatically every single month. Do not miss out on this opportunity. I need you to download the school app right now. Search Digital Boss Code so you can start learning AI and you can build your business. But I ain't even tell you the best part about it. Yo, this is a done for you business, meaning that you can resell it to other people and you can make 50% of the revenue each and every month. Download the school app right now. Search Digital Boss Code and start making this money. It's too much money out here for us not to be getting none. Let's get back into this episode.
I think time is important. For us, it wasn't like a waiting situation. It was like, all right, let's just keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. And everything else will play itself out. It's like, how much value can we add? The more value we add, the more valuable it become. You know what I mean? And that's just been the thing. A lot of times people say, I'll take it right now. And people know that you're going to take it right now because you need it, because they can see your value. And they have the foresight to see it. A lot of times we don't, because we're in desperate situations. For us, it was like, we're going to be building. We're going to be building and stacking and putting the money back into the business and figure out how we can add more value, because we know eventually it's going to pay off, because we're going to add so much that the appreciation and the valuation for the company is just going to keep growing.
Yo, what makes y'all so special though? Like, you was a teacher,
Yeah.
financial advisor. Like, it's so many people. It's celebrities that start podcasts and fail, right? Like, but y'all shit is like out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's out of here. And y'all, like, I don't want to say regular, but like, y'all niggas from the hood, like just regular niggas from the hood. You feel me? Y'all got the biggest like, especially when it comes to financial literacy in the world, for real.
I think it's a matter of right timing. So you have an idea, and it was a perfect time for that, because it wasn't something that was already being done. So that was the one thing. The consistency aspect of it, that's something that's extremely underrated when it comes to success. Like, most people is not going to be consistent. So to be able to be consistent, that's going to separate you from 90% of the population anyway. Originality and creativity, that's something that I think can't be duplicated, and that's something that you just got to have. Like, you gotta be an original person. You got to have creativity, or if you don't have that, you got to have somebody around you that is, right? And then of course the chemistry. Like, we know each other our whole lives, so that's something that really can't be duplicated either. But yeah, I think a lot of times people are going into something trying to like copy what somebody else did, or follow somebody else's blueprint, or do it for a bag, or like, I'm gonna just, I'm gonna make money. Like, it's not like authentic. It's not something that they really, really care about. And that eventually that's gonna come out. Like, it's only so long that you can just pretend. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's like, you're gonna get tired. You're not gonna wake up one day. You're gonna, like, have an attitude, not want to do it. So that, I think, is like some of the major keys that kind of separated us.
Yeah, it's just relentless work ethic. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't come into this business saying like it's going to be a business and we're going to make money and we're going to change our lives. We kind of just was like, yo, how can we help platform him to get hit the ground in financial advising? Like, we wanted him to be a celebrity financial advisor. And I say we because it was like that was the focus.
Wow.
Until it was like, do you guys have a podcast? And it was like, all right, we'll create one. So it never started as a business. Like he had a career in financial, like I said, was a financial advisor. I was teaching. So we never were relying on the money. We had careers outside of it. Then we started doing it, saw the value that was adding, and then ads started coming in. We're like, wait, you can make this money to be made here? And then you had to create the business around it. But even then, it was like, if somebody didn't listen, it wasn't like, oh, we're going to stop. No, we added value. The value was the thing. It wasn't the money. In fact, anytime we got money, it was put back into it. So most people saw us start with our iPhones, right? They saw us start at the dining table with some BS mics, right? Every time we got money, all right, we got to get a new camera, right? How do we even store this thing? We got to get somebody to help us edit this thing. And so it became that, and there was a business around it to the point it was like, all right, this here is more valuable than what I'm doing in teaching. It's going to take out way more time and more valuable than what you do in the financial advising. You can have clients, but we can impact the world. So it was an easy decision. Like, now let's create the business around this.
Yo, it's something you said at the start is so powerful that, like, I'm big on. I want to, like, get thoughts on it. When you hear him say, like, at first, like, we just wanted to, like, make him a celebrity financial advisor. Yeah. It's like the focus was, like, on you. But coming from somebody else, like, you don't get that too often. Like, how did that make you feel when you hear, like, you had somebody in your corner that, like, niggas is really trying to help you in the beginning?
You know, it's definitely, it's dope to have people that support you. And it on the other side of it, you never know. So that's why it's important not to be a hater or encourage people or surround you too, because you might not even have it in your plans that you're going to potentially benefit from it, but you could potentially benefit from it. So you not trying to help somebody or you trying to like block somebody, you could potentially end up hurting yourself without even knowing it. So it's crazy how life works.
Yeah. My bad. Go ahead.
No. So that's what I'm saying. So it's like, yeah, like when he said like, so I was a financial advisor, right? So I realized that my upside, I was limited as far as like how big I can actually become as far as being a financial advisor for a variety of different reasons. But I thought that if I could work with athletes and celebrities, rappers, then I could become like he said, like a celebrity financial advisor. Then I could become like real big, as opposed to I didn't want to just continue to work with everyday people. No disrespect, but I couldn't become a millionaire working with just everyday people, and it was difficult, right? So it's like in business, you got to decide your business model. Some people like that. Some people like to just do a lot of work with, but I wanted to do fewer amount of clients, but bigger client. I wanted bigger. So I'm like, I don't really have any relationships in music, sports, but I relate to the culture. You know what I mean? I played sports my whole life, listen to music, and like I can identify with. I know if I get in front of an athlete, I have more to identify with him than the people that he's currently working with. Let's just say that, right? So it's like, okay, now if we use social media to grow a platform, then I won't even have to get the athletes to come to me. So that was the idea for me personally, as far as growing my own social media brand, was to like, okay, I want to grow a social media brand and become like a financial advising, star, and then get so much attention that I just become so lit that like everybody's like, yo, I gotta tap in with bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's what he's referring to as far as like him, my other partner, Mike, he was doing a lot of work at the beginning stages for me. Like we used to do photo shoots because the content strategy was all types of content. Throw as much stuff on the wall and see what sticks. So we did the classroom. That was part of it. Like we were teaching in classrooms. AB would film the content, and then I will put the content on my own personal, because that's before Leisure had a page. Yeah. I put it on my own social media page. Then I would do like selfie videos where I would just be talking about life insurance or disability insurance, whatever like that. I would put it on the page. Then I actually had a public access show. So I would take that content sometimes to put it on the page. Then I would go to anybody else that would have me. Like I went to a variety of different local radio stations, all types of different stuff. And I would film that with my cell phone and put that on the page. So it was like just a lot of different, and then I used to write too. So I was writing like, even Nip, rest in peace. I wrote like a whole thing about like a blog post kind of thing, but I used to put it on Instagram, like breaking down business model. So I did a thing where I compared Nipsey Hussle to Apple, because remember he was like, I'm integrated vertically. So it was a lot of different like content that was just getting put. And then after a while, the theory actually became true. Because actually a lot of athletes I did end up developing relationships with, ironically enough, football players specifically. A lot of football players started hitting me up, and I don't even watch football that much.
It'd be like, yo, you know who this is?
Yeah, because you play basketball.
Yeah. Like, I'm like, yeah, bro, that dude, he's
Pretty boy stuff, man. Like, y'all know basketball, bro, football.
Yeah. So then like once the ball started rolling, it just got crazy. And how the show came about is that the people actually demanded it, because it was so much clips that I was putting up. They thought it was from a podcast, so they would say like, "Yo, where can I watch the full episode?"
Thing. Whole time is just this is the content.
It's other people's shows.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like let's say you had a radio show, right? I go on your radio show, and I would just film and I would put it, but they don't necessarily know it's your radio show.
Yeah.
So they thinking it's a podcast. So it was one clip particular, the 50 Cent. It was a 50 Cent clip about his deal with vitamin water, and that went like semi-viral. So at that point, it was like, all right, we got to start a show. So he was already obviously in communication every day. So starting a show, it's like it's difficult to start a show by yourself. You do it. It's an interview show, but when Earn Your Leisure first started, it wasn't an interview show.
Right, yeah.
It's just us.
We ain't know what it was going to be. So we just started to start the show, but the first like 6 episodes, it was no guest. It was us talking about different financial topics, talking about companies, like case studies, breaking down the backstories on different things. So that's something that people don't know too, unless they was like really watching. The format of the show changed. Episode 11, Derek Falcon, he's from Baltimore. He's the one that changed and to made it what Earn Your Leisure is today. Prior to him, it was a total different show.
Yeah, we would even have our guests, like the first, so Miss Business, shout out, that was our first guest. We even incorporated her into a case study because we were just so used to doing it ourselves and talking about case studies. They were like, yo, we're going to do this case study. Here's some information. We're going to brief you on it. We're just going to brag from your standpoint. You know, tax, we're going to talk about taxes. And so until he came and he gave his whole blueprint, it was like, I remember he was like, yo, that's going to be the new format for the show.
Yo, I know y'all talk about a bunch of business stuff, right? And niggas want to get to the bag. I get it, right? But in my mind, I'm like, yo, does this get lost? Like, do y'all not talk about this often? Because this right here is gold to me. I'm like, I never knew that.
I think this might be the first time we actually we've talked about Derek a lot, but I don't think we fully explained it as far as that he literally changed the format of the show. I don't think that was fully explained before in conversation.
So when people always ask us, they'll say, what's your favorite episode? Like internally, we like, yo, episode 11 is our favorite because it changed everything.
Damn.
Yeah. Even back to him, like, Earn Your Leisure, the name, that came from a hashtag for him. So when he was like, yo, I need a hashtag to go with this campaign, I'm like, I got one for you. I'm like, Earn Your Leisure. And he didn't like it. So I'm like, nah, it's perfect, man.
You ain't like it? Earn Your Leisure is fire. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, who thinks of that?
The whole day, because that's the time we was working out. Like after school, yo, meet me at the gym at 4. I'm like, yo, I thought about it during lunch. I'm like, I got it, bro. So I'm like, when I see him, I'm telling him, I'm like, yo, Earn Your Leisure. And he was like, I'm like, nah, look, like everybody think we super spoon kids. We come from Westchester. They think that's nothing but wealth. They don't understand that there's working class black families. There's, we got circumstances that happen there as well. They see us travel. They see us have nice cars. They don't understand the work that goes behind it. And I'm like, everything we did, we earned. And I was like, that's got to be the hashtag. And he was like, nah, I don't know.
Bro, I would have never thought like, and I'm not even glazing. I'm just on some like, because when I first heard of it, I'm like, that makes so much sense, especially for a nigga. I work hard, so it's like, bro, when I'm chilling, like I work for this. Like you tripping? Like I work to be able to chill.
Yeah, he started using it, but then I saw like travel pages started using it. I'm like, oh shit, this might be something. So when it was time to name the show, we was going back and forth, and he was just like, we came like, yo, Earn Your Leisure. Let's use that. That's something we created. That's original. Nobody owns it. We can trademark it. Let's run with that. That's going to be the name.
I got so many questions. I want to go back to something you said, right? Like just like not knowing. Right? I was having a conversation in this building about like partnerships and like having a job, right? And it was like, company would never want to hire you to do something because they see you got your own thing going on or whatever, right? And they like, would you hire somebody in your company? I'm trying to make this sure as possible. Would you hire somebody in your company and allow them to like basically get clients from you? And they like, that don't make sense. I'm like, I would. You know why? Because one, I understand the power of like proximity, one, but then you never know. I literally said the same thing. And what I mean by that is, one, I'm confident in myself to have different conversations. So even if you do something and you work for me, I'll pay you or whatever it can be, and you take my guest and you do an interview with them, people might forget what you look like, forget your name, but they never gonna forget how you made them feel, right? So if you blow up, I don't know, I might get washed 10 years from now. Right? I'm gonna keep going, but I might get washed. I might need a favor. You always gonna remember who put you in position. Not saying people don't be snakes, but I'm like, that's why I don't subscribe to that thought process. And when you say like you never know, but I feel like people want to gatekeep so much. They don't look at it like that, bro. You put somebody in place, look at Lil Wayne and Drake. Lil Wayne Drake gonna always have a special place in his heart for Wayne because he put him on. I feel like people don't understand that though. Like that was a great point when you said that.
Yeah, no, for sure. And sometimes it's just a matter of just helping, just supporting. Like sometimes you just got to have pure intentions with no expectations of what could potentially happen in the future, right? Because it's like the law of reciprocity. Even if that doesn't directly help you, you might get a blessing later on indirectly from something. So that's just important to just keep in mind.
Yeah, that's consistent too. I always tell the story like when he started financial advising, he needed his first client. It wasn't even a question. I was raising my hand. Like, I'm going to be your first client. Like, it was him and his dad sitting. Like, if you're going to go through this process and you need to learn the process, at least learn through me, right? Like, if there's any mistakes, it's not going to be like, I'm never working with this person again. This is my best friend. Of course, we're going to work together again, but at least go through the process through me. So, like, again, when he was trying to start something, all right, let's do it. Because if he make it, we going to make it.
Y'all being best friends, right? One thing that I be seeing in a podcast game that I really hate is like separations, and it just messed up the whole thing. Like we look at Joe, Roy Amal, we look at
Mav Hoffa.
Mav Hoffa, we look at it's so many at this point, right? Remember I Am Athlete, right? True. Yep. So many people. Do y'all have a contract within the friendship, or is it still just like we homies? Like, I know y'all got contracts for the business, but is it even like individual contracts?
Nah, I never. He's not my homie. I don't look at him like my homie. Like, I look at him like he's my brother.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I talk to my brother every day. I check in with him. Our families know each other. Like, I watch his son. I take his son somewhere. Like, it's not like this is my business partner. A lot of times these people have been put together to create something. Mm-hmm. With us, it was like we grew up together and we've created things before that didn't work, that the people didn't see. It's just that they've watched this happen in real time and it's been successful. But the things that we created that weren't as successful and people didn't know. And so we've been through that process of like, all right, we created something together. It didn't work. We're still brothers. Mm-hmm. We still gonna figure this out. I know his strengths. He know my strengths. I know his weaknesses. You know my weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? And so that camaraderie it ain't a contract that's gonna be like, all right, that changes it now.
Yeah, I look at it like kind of like the opposite because like I've seen it and it's like, bro, like I told Alex, right? It's like my right hand. I'm like, bro, like if anything don't ever work, bro, I'd rather us have a contract because I value our friendship over all it. Like these like you could fuck all that. I'm just being real. So I'd rather have a contract in place so it ain't my word. So I can't go back. I put myself in a position where I can't be a fuck nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like I won't. That's what the contract is for, right? Yeah. So you can hold me accountable, right? And that's how I look at it. That's how I was wondering, like, do y'all, because again, y'all talk so much business. I'm like, I wonder if y'all even do that. But it's still almost like that homie, like, that's how we all
have like operating agreement with the company, and we don't have a like contract amongst ourselves.
Yeah. And so, but is that needed? Not for y'all, like let's say somebody else going to. Would you need that, or is it the operation agreement within the business that counts? That's all that matters. Just curious.
I mean, so as far as if you're asking like what's the best practice standpoint, then yeah, I mean, as much legal documentation as possible, that would be advisable. Mm-hmm. Because like you said, if something happens, you don't want it to be any vagueness. You don't want it to be left up for interpretation. So, when you're creating the company, obviously, you create the LLC and all of that. You have the operating agreement. You want to be detailed with that, right? Mm-hmm. Like, what's the ownership percentages? What's the voting rights? If we dissolve the company, you want to kind of go through all of that. Work with a lawyer for sure, so they can kind of, advise you to have the best legal framework possible.
One thing I love about y'all too is like y'all like, in my opinion, again, I'm just outside looking in, y'all like so different, but it works so well. It like reminds me of like Gilly and Wallow. Like I don't think they're that much different how y'all are, but like they could come on, crack jokes on each other, and like everybody's can think what they want, but they cool. Yeah. So like you like super chill to the outside, right? Because I don't personally know what you do day to day. Yeah. But like Rashad, you like super like
outside
out there, like even with you came chill today. I was surprised, like, but it works, right? And like people say you flashy, and like honestly, I feel like you've you've gained a lot of haters because you just want to be
don't
fly.
say.
Like, why nigga can't be fly? Like, young nigga can't get fly anymore. It's like
That's a fact.
That's the hook right there.
it's like so now for real. So it's like, but I love it because it doesn't bother you because that's not who you are.
Yeah.
Right. But the people can say what they want. I love that.
Yeah, man. It really don't bother me, man. I'm very confident who I am.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I understand our relationship. I understand our dynamic. Somebody would say, like, yo, we get into a room and Shai won't say anything to me. Right? They don't know his personality. I know his personality. They might see me in the room like, yo, this dude will talk to every person and have a conversation with every person. I'm an outgoing person in those environments. But, like, I never subscribed to the social media thing. I understand it from a business standpoint, but, like, I would live a very, very, like, controlled life, right? Like, I always was thinking about family first. Like, I got a wife, I got 2 kids, I got to protect them. And so letting people inside of that is like, I'm still balancing that, right? Because I understand, like, yeah, people want to get to know you. And I feel like we've given so much to the people. Like, they see us every day. Like, we're part of people's lives on a weekly and a daily basis. It's like some things I protect, right? So I'm like, yeah, I'm a public figure that lives a private life, in a sense.
So when your man pop out with the
Yeah,
what Denzel say? This alpaca, you gotta adapt that. When he pop out with that, it don't be like uncomfortable, or it's just like,
nah, I'm like,
that's
yo,
him.
put that shit on, man. Like, I'm never gonna hate on it.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, the thing is, like, when people see him, they see me. When they see me, they see him. You know what I'm saying? He represents Earn Your Leisure every time he go out. I represent Earn Your Leisure every time we go out. And so if they're gonna be hating on that shit, then keep hating. He's not gonna stop doing what he's doing. I'm gonna encourage it. Like, yo, get that shit. Get that shit off, man. Fuck it.
I encourage it too. I'm with all of
Wear pajamas if you got to.
of it.
Like, if people are talking, it's a good thing.
So I was curious, right? Because y'all are business teachers, coaches at this point. So I was talking to my man. I was like, it's almost as, I might get dragged for this, but I'm gonna just say it from my perspective, right? I look at it like a preacher. A preacher can't do certain things because like how we look at him. Do you think that's a part of the hate because they look at you as a teacher? It's like a teacher can't be fly, a teacher can't be flashy. What do you think it's from?
Yeah, I think it's a variety of different things.
Pop your
honestly.
shit, man. I don't hold back. I see.
I already know you about to go crazy.
You know, nigga, like, nah.
Thank you for asking.
Now that you
it's
mentioned
a
it,
variety
nigga.
of different things, but like what Jay said, like the same thing they knight you for is what they're going to good night you with. So it's like, okay, like people might have said like, okay, at certain moments I might have went too far with like fashion and different things like that, and that could potentially rub people the wrong way. But that also, like when you look at like the marketing and social media, like that's like majority me. So I'm always thinking about ways to kind of like put things forward. You got to kind of take risk. If not, if we were just playing it safe and just if both of us was not on social media, there would be no social media. So it's like, yes, potentially everybody's up. And there's ways to do things too. So even with me, the fashion, like, I toned it down a little bit because I realized like, all right, I've done a lot. I don't need to just continue because at the end of the day, you don't want to have somebody that feels like you're stunting on them or like you showing off like that. So it's like, is it worth it? You can still do it in different ways, right?
Okay.
So that's what, but ultimately somebody's always going to have some level of criticism for you. And people criticize people that's like in the forefront, outspoken, but those people are necessary. They're needed. Because if you're not outspoken and if you don't take risk and if you're not in front of the camera, then they're not even going to know who you are. So it's like, all right, pick your poison.
Yeah.
Do you want to be somebody that nobody knows? Then you can live a nice, quiet, peaceful life, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to have that level of marketing notoriety and use that to build different brands, different things of that nature, then 9 times out of 10, you're going to have to put yourself in the forefront, and that's going to come with some level of criticism. So everything that, it's always been a part of it as far as like fashion, all that type of stuff. I've always been into that. But now it's just a matter of like, all right, I can still do it, but I'm not necessarily going to do it the same way that I did before. A, because I already did it, and B, it's just not necessary as far as, criticism and hate, people gonna find a way to hate anyway. So now
Don't give
just
them nothing to
give
action.
them something else to hate on. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
That's maturity right there.
Yeah, facts. I was wondering, where do we draw the line as creatives? Because like we talk about risk takers, and again, I say Alex a lot because we talk about this, and I be talking about my takes, and I'm like, bro, we could talk about whatever.
Yeah.
Bro, don't nobody, like, yeah, I'm popular. I got 100,000 followers on Instagram. That ain't shit. Don't nobody really know me for real.
Yeah.
Bro, you not about to win playing it safe.
Yeah, they can't put you in a box.
Yeah, so I was wondering though, where do we draw the line? Because with that mentality, right, and social media, where you could create a wildfire. Like now you got people doing the craziest things on social media to get popular. Where do we draw the line?
And I think it's a matter of just curating what feels comfortable for you. Like even, like, okay, the reason why I did the fashion thing even to begin with is because we never sold lifestyle, right? Like it wasn't like we was like, okay, you know, a lot of people, no disrespect, people go on like a plane or they'll do different things. And it was like, that to me doesn't feel that I could see why people could have like pushback on that, because that's like a thin line that you kind of walk in between showing off on people and educating. And that wasn't kind of our brand. Our brand was built on education. So it's like, but people like to see, you know, fly shit. So I'm like, this is just my day to day. I wasn't even thinking that was that big of a deal. I'm like, this is just my day to day, like outfits and shit like that. That's not something that I don't think is too far. Like I'm not showing you a Lamborghini. I'm not showing you nothing crazy. Just, you know what I'm saying? I might show you a sweater or something like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I was like, okay, how can you pop shit but still do it in a tasteful manner, right? I think everything has to be tastefully done. So it's important for you to know who you are, because a lot of times people go on social media and it looks weird because they're trying to be somebody else. It's like a rapper, right? Like you see a rapper and he got like 10 chains on and it's like, it don't even look real because it looked like you like a mascot.
Yeah, starter kit. You got
like,
the starter kit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, facts.
You got rings on every finger. It looks like you like a comic book character, right? And it's like, if you were in the streets, nobody dresses like that. Who wears 5 rings on their fingers and 10 chains? Like, who does that? Like, you know what I'm saying? But that's because they don't know who they are. So they think, okay, when I become a rapper, this is what I have to do to actually look credible to my audience.
Yeah, and part of it too, just to add to what he's saying, because it's true, right? It was like, you're not gonna box us in. You're not gonna be like, those guys are the financial literacy guys. That's all they do, right? They do fashion. We love sports. We love music, right? Like I just think with every time that they've tried to, you're just a podcaster, right? Like we've been very intentional, but like now we're so much more than that. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like in the space we're in, like the duality that we've been able to create has been unprecedented. Right, not many people can go to Bloomberg and do Joe Budden. Right, they can't go to Booby Trap and go to Good Morning America. We can show up in all those places and people can be like, "Oh, those are my dudes. I rock with them." Right? It's not like, "Oh, they're out of place." It'd be tough if you saw Jim Cramer inside of Booby. It was like, "What is he doing here?" Like, this doesn't make sense. For us, it makes sense because we do all those things, right? Like in moderation, obviously, but we want to make sure that people understand, like, you can be authentically yourself in every environment and show up as yourself in every environment. So when he's popping when he was doing the drip report, no, let him pop that. It's not like, yo, hey, why are you not doing the drip report? Yo, that's what he wants to do. He's giving that to y'all to inspire y'all to be your authentic self. Figure out how you're going to do it in your authentic way.
Yo, let's talk about the independence for a second, like not being put in a box. You got young creators, right? Because I want to make this relatable to everybody that look at it like, man, they signed, they this, they that, right? But whole time, like, we independent, bro. Like, we work to get these partnerships. Like, don't nobody own this but us. Yeah. Did y'all mindset shift over the time? Because I'm pretty sure when y'all first started, y'all might have thought similar things. Like, bro, like, they got the engine behind them. When really you had to work to get that engine. A lot of people don't understand that. Like, I had to work to get this engine behind me. Nigga, I started in the basement with the iPhone. Did the mindset change, or was it always kind of sort of the same?
Yeah, I mean, think you definitely get a greater appreciation once you start to realize things for yourself. And so, like, it's easy to just look from the outside and be like, okay, yeah, they must have somebody that's pushing them, or it's a rapper behind it, or you know what I'm saying, they got this because of this. Until you realize, like, nah, you got this because, like you said, it's because of work and because of just, you know, it's divine timing, right? Like, certain things are just destined to be. But yeah, you definitely have to always kind of, I think, keep things in perspective, because nobody really knows something until you're actually in the workings of it. Even for us, like, there's certain things that we don't fully have an appreciation or fully know, right? Like, we have an idea of that's how we think something works. Like, let's take the government, right? Like, you think, okay, I know how the government works. And then you go and you see like a little bit, like, oh, no, this is actually different. And then imagine if you actually inside the government, then you're going to have a total different perspective altogether, right? But the average person is just looking from the outside in. So they can only use assumptions, right? And it's like, you know, an easy assumption is just to make an excuse where it's like, okay, yeah, no, they got put on or Illuminati or you know what I'm saying, like that. So,
They got us. Yeah,
What Illuminati?
When you ask the question, and Shadi kind of referenced it as well, I don't know if there was a them for us to compare it to. Right? Like, who put them on? How did they get there? It was just us. Right? There wasn't.
Like that. That was fire.
We looked at it and it was. We didn't even know there was a podcast chart till somebody texted us like, "Yo, y'all in the top 10." I'm like, "What is that? There's a podcast chart?" We didn't come into it with that. We just came to try to add value. And so the thing, like you said, we're learning as we go. Like, we're flying the plane and we're building the plane. But most importantly, we not gatekeeping it when we learn. So when we get a deal, we're telling like, yo, we still remain independent. It's like, this is the structure. This is how we did it. This is how we did it. So that people can take it and say, all right, well, I heard what they said. That was their blueprint. How do I incorporate into what I'm doing?
But y'all had to have somebody by y'all side, like, because in my mind, y'all did. In my mind, right? I'm looking at like y'all did it the right way, and what I mean by that, y'all got the network right on YouTube. Like, I had to learn that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the network for y'all came kind of early, no?
The network came early on because I was watching the landscape, just watching the landscape.
Of what? Of who?
So, what's my man's name from Boston Globe? What's his name?
Bill Simmons.
Bill Simmons. So I watched this deal. This is probably like early 2019. Bill Simmons got a deal for his network for $200 million.
Okay.
I said to myself, damn, how you get a deal for $200? He got one show. And then I read the tea leaves, and I'm like, oh, he had 9 shows, and he sold the entire network to Spotify. And so right there was like, wait, we need to have a network of shows. And so Market Mondays becomes a show. High Level Conversations is a show. Rants and Gems, shout out to our brother MG, the mortgage guy, had a show. So we're trying to build that catalog because I know one thing would be a nice asset, but what happens when we have 6 or 7 successful shows? Now we package that under the umbrella. This is going to be a different conversation, right? When it's time for people to say, hey, what they're doing over there is impressive. We need to talk to these guys about potentially partnering with them or maybe even acquiring them or bringing them to a Spotify or an iHeart.
Early on, how was y'all doing the business side of it, right? Like, because I understand of it, like how it should be. Like, it's not just one show. You need a network of shows, right? But were y'all paying people early on, or was it like y'all was just leveraging the audience?
We took pretty much. We had a deal with iHeart, so we used the framework
early.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
We used the framework for that deal, and like kind of used it to model other deals that we was doing with people. So it's like a revenue split as far as ads that people that we can get for people either on the outside or on YouTube. And then our model always been kind of more of an independent route where it's like, you know, the platform, we actually give people a platform which obviously grows their following and grows their awareness. And then from there, they have the ability to do a variety of ancillary things on their own, whether it's different products that they're selling or an event or different things of that nature. So, you know, that was kind of the model that we took, was more of an independent record label type distribution deal. Not necessarily like holding your hands, not guaranteeing you any money. Like, we're going to give you a platform, we're going to give you support, but you got to do the work. You got to film your episodes. You got to, you know, and then you're going to get the majority of whatever you bring in. But whatever you can do is up to you, right?
Yeah.
And then we're here to support and lend our help.
Yeah. And we watched that from being.
Yeah, y'all had a couple. Like,
I got to shout out Dave Shans and Ashcast.
I was about to say Ashcast was on y'all network.
Those are the first 2 shows that we had signed. So early on, we saw Dave's talent and so what he was doing and his consistency. I was like, all right, this is somebody. And Ash, just his personality and his knowledge. He was on an episode, I think like episode 26 or something like that. And so we were like, all right, he has something that we can actually create. And so, yeah, those are the first 2 people.
The first show was Market Mondays.
Yeah, I'm saying outside of us.
Yeah,
outside of us.
The first show was Market Mondays. Shout out to Ian.
Yeah, shout out to Ian.
So that was the first show that we produced, right? That was on our network. That was on our channels. outside of what we did just as far as Earn Your Leisure.
Yeah.
And then that hit the ground running. That was a proven success. That gave us a lot of credibility in the space also, because when people saw, okay, like even Dave told me this. He was like, you know, you do something once, they think that it's just luck or just a random coincidence, right? But then if it happens twice, now it's like, okay, now there's something more to it. So when they saw, I know for Smith, I can't speak for Ash, but when Dave, he told me this. He said when he saw Market Mondays, that's when he was like, okay, nah, this is actually something. They figured something out here, right? So Market Mondays definitely was the pillar in that whole framework. And then, Ash Cash, and then Dave Shan. Then we had a show with MG, the mortgage guy, and Keanu Watson. Then we had Mike Rashid. He had a limited series. Then we had another limited series with Oasis, a real estate development group out of Chicago.
We had Dave out in Detroit.
And then, of course, like one of the biggest things that we ever did was 19 Keys.
Yeah.
High level conversations.
Yeah.
Just out of here.
That happened here in Atlanta. It was at an event. I think it might have been him for Honor. He had an event. And after we went to Upbeat, I was sitting down with him. And I had seen his stuff pop up on the, suggested. And I was just like, yo, you need to bring your show back. And he was like, what you mean? I'm like, you need to bring it back. Like, there's a space for you. And we had this over some kale. He was like, yeah, let's do it. I remember I called you. I'm like, yo, Keys wants to do a show. We should bring this to the network. And it was a no-brainer. He was like, all right, let's do it. And when that show dropped, I mean, obviously he had a following already and he has a community. When that show hit, it was like instant success. Like out of here, 1 million views, 8 million views, 4 million views. Like what he was talking about and how he's producing and curating the show was so different from what we were doing that people just gravitated to it.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you because y'all collaborate with a lot of people, right? And I mean, if y'all may, if not, it's fine. So y'all collaborate with a lot of people. And I was wondering, like, do you think is a space where, because I'm still part of this, like growing in the public eye, right? Because like y'all started as y'all independent, right? And a lot of, I mean, I don't know if you want to say y'all made mistakes or not, whatever, right? But y'all collaborate with a lot of people. And some people would say, they talk about how like, y'all highlight, I don't know the exact word, but let's say scammers or whatever like that. How has it changed when it come to getting a guest? Or has it changed? Is this something that y'all learned? Like, basically speak towards that. Speak to that.
Well, the guests, we honestly don't really have a lot of guests now. Market Mondays, there's guests, but it's a different type of show, so the framework is a little different. And like we've been doing a lot of like how-to series. So I think the framework of the show is kind of different, but I mean, you know, like I said, when you look for something to criticize, you're gonna find something. So I mean, if you have a show that's just from a rational standpoint of a person, right? If you have a show that runs every single week for 5 years, right? That's 50, 100, 200, 250 shows
For
right?
Are You Leisure?
Yeah.
He's on like guest wise.
So okay, so let's say if you have 250 guests, right? You don't think out of that 250 guests that there's going to be somebody that might have done something that you don't potentially know about? Like, what's the percentage? So like, let's go off the law of percentages, right? Let's say that you might have had 5 guests that you look back on it like, damn, I shouldn't have probably had him on the show, right? Or let's just say even 10. So what is 10 out of 250? Less than 1%, probably, right?
Probably.
Just rough math out of the top of my head.
I mean, it's not a big number.
So if you have a 99% success ratio in any level of business, they call you the greatest of all time. But in our community,
the black community,
they call you a failure, right? You got a 99% success ratio. You've empowered millions to make money, to buy real estate. You're doing the biggest event every year. You've given away hundreds of thousands of dollars. You have a vendor marketplace where over 300 businesses every single year make money. You don't get any commission from the money that they make. Well, as a rational person, right? Most people would say, like, this is an overwhelming success. Now, you're going to have a small group of people that's going to say, well, no, 1% is too much. When your iPhone breaks down, what happens? You take it to the store. So like I said, what ends up happening is that when you reach a certain level of success, you're going to get negative feedback and pushback just because people would rather destroy than build. Mm-hmm. So if they can't become you, the first thing they want to do is be next to you. Mm. If they can't get next to you for whatever reason, the next thing that they want to do is take your spot. Mm. When they realize that they're not capable of taking your spot, right, because they're not as talented as you, they don't have the relationship, they don't have the work ethic, then the third option is to just try to destroy what you have.
I feel like anybody that has a rational mind can think about. I probably would have never put it into those terms like that because that was great. But like, even you think about the greatest of all time, like everybody's going to criticize Jordan because he was the greatest of all time. They're going to say he wasn't the greatest, right? They're going Tom Brady, everybody because he was the great. And when you at the top, to whom much is given, much is required. Like you're going to have, it just is what it is. Yeah. My question, right? Because you break it down and it makes so much sense. It kind of reminds me of Stephen A. when he was like, bro, I give crazy amount of takes every damn year. Of course I'm gonna have some bad takes, right? But when you see these things, do you just not respond and just let it live? Because I feel like if you come out and speak to it, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, I think the critique, I mean, whether it's fair or not, it does help us, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, all right, if that's an area of improvement, then we'll make it. If we see something that's glaring, we'll change it.
But do you clear that air when you see it or you just let it?
I'll let him answer that part.
I mean, you got to do it in a way that makes sense, right? Like you speak about, I think, you asked your question, so I'm answering your question, right?
Okay.
But as far as like, if you directly going at somebody that might have criticized, what you got to realize too is that when somebody criticizes you, the best thing that you can do for a person is to actually acknowledge them. Mm. So that's like when Drake said, "Diss me, and you never get a reply for it." He should have continued that pathway. It would have been helpful for him. Now he got undisciplined and didn't follow that, and you seen what happened. People want to have recognition. Like what Jay said, they beef because they know that's the only way we ever going to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to understand, like you responding, because at a certain point in time, you're going to have somebody that criticizes you.
For sure.
Right? So if you actually respond to a person, you only putting that person on your level. Because you don't respond to somebody that's not on your level. You're not respond. So, but you can respond to the overarching theme of it. Right. So it's like, okay, if somebody criticizes you for something, that you can respond to that, right, and have a conversation about, okay, you don't like what I'm doing, but it's never a direct attack on somebody. You gotta be strategic about that. You gotta be careful because sometimes that might be necessary, but just understand when you're doing that, that automatically puts you on par with a person.
Yeah, you're never gonna. I mean, you haven't heard it thus far. It's almost 7 years now. You're never gonna hear a reply from me. Just because, I remember watching Jay-Z say, "Yo, I'm about to dollar. Who the fuck is 50 Cent?" And then, boom, here comes Get Rich or Die Trying. Right? You've highlighted that person. You've given them an acknowledgement they needed, and they just gonna keep feeding off of that. It means that, you recognize what I've said, and now I got to keep making content about what you recognize. And it's like, there's no point in it for me.
That's a great perspective. I guess I look at it. I love that perspective. It's dope for me because I look at it. I guess I always was telling Alex, I'm like, yo, if somebody was to like come at me about something, I'm addressing it. Kind of like
Jay-Z. What Bernie Madoff is? You know what Bernie Madoff is? Mm-mm. So Bernie Madoff had the biggest Ponzi scheme in the history of American finance, right? He was on CNBC. Wall Street Journal wrote about him, about the returns that he was making for all his customers. He defrauded people over 200, how much? 35 billion? 35 billion. Went to jail for 151 years. Is CNBC responsible for that? Right? Like sometimes you put somebody on a platform and you don't know everything they've done and they're going to make mistakes, but you have to understand the integrity of the platform that you built. Right? Like there's mistakes and we're going to be better for it.
Yeah, and that's why I brought up the part when I was like, I feel like we can't grow on social media because like you said, y'all ain't had no experience with none of this. Niggas is new, niggas is just doing interviews, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, I be wondering like, people be trying to like air out dirty laundry so much when it's like, bro, niggas are people. Like, I'm just real. It is what it is. I ain't scared of nobody, and I don't got that much going on to have nothing to lose. That's how I look at it. So I'm always real. Just keep it real.
Also, you gotta look at it like, what have you done, right? People are criticized. What have you done? Anybody can. Okay, LeBron James. Let's take LeBron for instance, right? I can literally, and I'm the biggest LeBron James fan in the world. I can watch every LeBron James tape going back 22. He's played 22 years, right? And I can make a probably 4-hour documentary on everything that he's done wrong in his career. Like, yo, you didn't do this when you played against the Mavericks. You gave up this shot. The decision, that was a bad look. And I could paint a whole thing, right? And it's like, what have I done? What have I done? I haven't done anything in basketball. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, except for watch LeBron James and critique him. When you're talking about somebody that played for 22 years. So in the course of 22 years, I'm pointing out every single mistake that he made. That's to a layman, that's gonna be like, damn, this dude makes a shitload of mistakes. Until you realize, like, then he has the most points in NBA history. So he's obviously done a lot of things right. Right? So it's like you can look at anything and pick it apart and criticize it and say this. And like I said, fine tune it to the point where you looking at less than 1.5% of what they've done in totality. And that's the highlight, right? You're not highlighting anything positive that's been done. You're not highlighting anything that has been aspirational that's been done. Why? Because you haven't done anything yourself. So how you curate your space is to actually find the small percentage of something that you don't like that you can highlight and then highlight it to the world. But that says a lot about the times that we're in, because it speaks to nowadays, it don't matter what it is, as long as you can try to get some level of clout, because most people are not even making money online. So it's not really even about the money. It's just about, how can I get a clout? So if I'm not able to help somebody, if I'm not able to do something almost impossible, which is, get clout from actually providing financial education and travel the world, then the next best thing is to just be a hater.
Right. If you're gonna review things, review the positive things too.
Does that make it like discouraging to help people? Because like even when you think about homeless people, right? Like a lot of people don't know it because they don't have the experience. You go help homeless people. They are some of the most pickiest eaters out there, right? And so it's like you go out there, like, I came to help, and then they'll tell me no. I mean, fuck this. Like, so like when y'all trying to, like, all y'all platform is about is helping people, right? And then you got the same people that's trying to help, trying to critique you. Does it get discouraging at times?
I've never felt discouraged. I don't know. I can't speak for Shadi, but I've never felt discouraged. I understand that the mission we on. I always talk about it being a purpose-driven mission, right? Like the goal is to add value to people's lives. I block out all of it, to be honest with you. Like, if I don't hear it, if somebody doesn't bring it to my attention, I wouldn't know, because I know there's so many people we need to help. In fact, we was in the office the other day, and I asked, like, yo, have you heard of InvestFest? And the woman said, no. I'm like, you live in Atlanta? You never heard of it?
Damn.
She said, yeah. I said, all right, well, there's more work to do. Right, so if I paid attention to what there's work that needs to be done. There's plenty of people who don't know what we've done and what we're doing, right? One fan a day was the original slogan. Like, can we just impact one person's life? And that's still the thing. Like, how many people can we impact today? Like, that's how I'm walking to every day. Whose life can we help? Who can we change? Who can we impact? Who can we inspire today?
And then also you gotta look at it from my standpoint of, like, you gotta get out. If you're a hustler, your number one goal is to get in and get out. You ain't really trying to stay around the party for too long anyway. You got to always reinvent yourself, do different things. So that's part of it. It's like, okay, like, what's next? What we doing next? Like, we're not going to be doing this forever. So we don't need to continue this for 10 years, 15 years. Like, no matter what religion you belong to, what it's the Quran, there's only one. Bible, there's one. You don't need to make 10 different versions. 10 different remixes. Hey, we gave it to you now. Yo, y'all can't figure this out. It's not going to happen. At a certain point in time, like, we're going to have enough content where we gave you guys enough content. You can criticize it, you can hate it, you can love it, you can fix your credit, you can get rich on stocks, but at a certain point in time, it's over.
Then
right? And then we on to something else. So, like, that's important to keep in mind, because at some point in time, you're going to get hate. Like, it's either, like, that's another thing Jay said, it's die a hero or live long enough to be a villain. People love Nipsey because he died. If he would have lived, they would have found something to criticize him about. They doing it in his death. You could pull up videos on YouTube and they saying all kinds of crazy shit about Nipsey. They ain't saying when he was alive, but now he's dead. So it's like, if you live long enough, look at Jay, right? Like, all the hate that he gets, like, if you live long enough, you're going to get hated. If you don't want to get hated, you got to get out or die, right? So it's like, all right, knowing that, you got to have that mindset. It's not like a love affair. Like, people will love you one day and hate you the next. So what your goal is, if you're a hustler, is to stack your money, stack your bread, have a vision, have an exit plan, because it's like, all right, you know what I mean? Like, you can't be emotional about it. If that's the way that it's going to go, be prepared for it. So it's like, all right, you know, we left you where we left you with, and now we on to something else.
That's fire.
Fact.
You talk about InvestFest. Y'all started in 2020?
2021.
21.
Yeah.
No, 2020.
2020.
No, 2020, we was in LA for the month of July. In 2021, InvestFest came.
Yeah, 2021. Yeah,
Fresh out of
21, 22, 23, 24.
Fresh out of the pandemic. Or probably, some would say probably still in the pandemic.
Still in the pandemic. Schools wasn't open in New York for sure. Offices weren't opening like that.
What gave y'all the balls to be like...
But let me just say this before we answer that question. But just understand this for us, right? When we do leave, just understand what we've done have never been done before. So sometimes you don't have a full appreciation of something until it's no longer here. So when we do leave, right, and there is no longer an InvestFest, and there is no longer a Market Mondays that gives you free information every single week, and there is no longer EYO that provides you information about artificial intelligence and crypto, you're going to have a greater appreciation when it's no longer there. So you can criticize whatever, you could pick it apart, but who did it before us? Like I said, there's no blueprint to follow. So you criticizing something that A, was never there before, and it's not going to be there after. So when it's done, right, have that thought process of like, damn, because you're going to miss it when it's no longer there.
And that's why this moment is so dangerous. Somebody was like, protect us at all costs. And I didn't really understand it till maybe like a few months later. I'm like, why would somebody say protect us at all costs? They said, what you're doing is one of the most dangerous things that's ever been done in human history. You're liberating Black people.
And I think, it's funny, maybe that's the times with the internet, like, it's like things go by so fast. And you mentioned the Jay-Z bar where he was like, live long enough to be a villain, to see yourself be a villain. Maybe within this small amount of time for us, right? It's like, 5 years? When y'all started?
InvestFest 5 years, Earn Your Leisure going on 7.
7 years, right? Yeah. To that. In the everyday life, that's really not a long time. But now with the internet, everything moving so fast, maybe that 7 years is really a long time. So now you're starting to see the impact, and now you're starting to see like it becoming villainized when it's like, bro, like y'all was just loving us. Like, well, they still love y'all, but I'm saying like for the people that critique, right? Like, bro, you crazy. Like, we change people's lives out here. Yeah, so the fact that you can even say this, maybe that 7 years really like 14, 21, you're talking dog years. If I'm thinking about it now, like, damn, like maybe y'all watching yourselves become villainized, because I don't want to say you're a villain because you're not a villain, but you get them for the
the impact gonna be generational. When you talk about people who didn't even know what a brokerage account is, when you look at the statistics about the largest people who are opening brokerage accounts look like us, they come from our communities. When you see 17, 18-year-olds thinking about the stock market, thinking about real estate in a different way, understanding what crypto is and investing in it, it's going to be generational, right? Like, people are starting to have more wealth than they've ever had. Right? We can see that there's going to be over $1 trillion wealth transfer that's going to happen in the next 5 to 8 years. What role are we going to play in it?
And people don't have the brain capacity to understand the importance of what's going on. Let's go to InvestFest, right?
Let's do it.
Bro, because I'm going to be real, I probably was one that was like, didn't understand, right? People like, man, you want to invest all this money, like, they ain't really doing shit, right? I don't know if it was Shan's, but somebody gave me the realization. And they was like, bro, y'all go there, spend all that money, you trying to network with the person on the stage. Them niggas ain't, you're not about to meet them people, bro. You got thousands of people in the building that spent the same amount of money as you, if not more. So they invested in what they doing. That's the perfect people to network with. And I'm like, bro, that makes so much sense. And honestly, like, again, this is just from a consumer base, right? Because y'all can clear whatever. And I'm like, yo, that's why, in my opinion, when people ask me, I'm like, yo, I don't know if it's, what y'all call it, the creative, like the
marketplace.
The marketplace is probably the most impactful, bro. Like. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, yo, because that's where all the magic, that's where you meet people. And I'm like, I never even thought about that. So I can, and I'm thinking like, I got time, I got skin in the game, I got proximity to people that's successful. So I'm fortunate, I'm blessed. It's a group of people out there who don't have the proximity to somebody to be able to even check that thought, if that makes sense. And I'm like, I never even thought of that, bro.
That's a fact.
Yeah, you're right. I even say the people on stage, you probably will see them. Right, because like we gonna walk through the vendor marketplace, we gonna bring Steve Harvey to the marketplace.
Facts.
I walked Dan Cathy through the marketplace. Not one person stopped him.
Wow.
This man is worth $8 billion. He's a former CEO of Chick-fil-A. He was on stage after I walked him through the marketplace. He was just trying to find a stage.
So y'all did it on purpose?
Which part?
Walking people through the marketplace?
Yeah. We want the people to see. Like, it's one thing to admire somebody from a distance, but imagine if you can see Robert Smith walk through them. He's walking past your business that you've created a vendor booth for. And actually, sometimes they'll stop and say, yo, I want to get that.
We said
Tell me about
Hardy.
your business. Exactly. It happens every year. We bring in everybody through, right? Because we want the people to see, yeah, these are people that you admire, and you may say, like, that is a hero to me, but they right in front of you. What other place does that?
Damn.
But then also it's the thing of, all right, if you're not, at a certain point in time, so everybody not going to make it because they're stupid. A lot of people are stupid. So it's like, if you come to Invest Fest, right, it's a 3-day event, right, and there's over 80 workshops. Okay. So there's 20,000 people that come per day, and there's 80 workshops. Now, if you can't learn something, it costs $250. Let's put it in perspective. So if you can't get $250 worth of 80 workshops, then you're not capable of learning. And if you're not able to make at least 3 relationships in a room with 20,000 people, then it's not going to happen for you anyway. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's 2025, you got to be told that, you know, you're not going to meet Steve Harvey. That's obvious. But if you go into Invest Fest like, damn, this is my one shot of meeting Tyler Perry, and I'm like, you're going to bypass 80 panels, you're going to bypass 300 vendors, you're going to bypass 20,000 people and feel disappointed because you didn't meet Tyler Perry, you're not an intelligent person. It's not going to happen for you anyway. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the reality of it. Like, it's almost over. Like, as far as like your chances to become successful is almost over. We talk about this all the time, AI, all this stuff. Like, we only got a few years left. So at a certain point in time, you just got to have realistic conversations. And it's like, if you cannot find value in an event, like, well, all of the stuff that I just named, nothing is ever going to help you. Yeah. Nothing is going to help you.
But let's have the conversation, because I have a special place in my heart for, hypothetically, I'm going to use the word stupid people, right? What is determined by that? Because, like, again, proximity, like, I'm learning through my proximity, right? What I watch, I'm learning through that. But let's just say, like, it's a group of people that's from the hood that, again, that we learned these things. Like, we the way we think is something that we learned. I know I didn't just come up and, like, just thinking like this. So for those people, right, that might not know, and they thinking, yo, 250 my last, I'm going, and I don't know what they might think. I don't know. I have no idea, right? What would you say to them so they can be educated?
But that's what I'm saying. We've given you enough education. You got to be able to pick up the information and learn as you go, right? So it's like, we've given you enough information. We have whole episodes devoted on how to network, what you should expect at Invest Fest. We talk about relationships. We talk about all of this stuff. So it's like, yeah, you know, at a certain point in time,
there's no excuse no more.
You gotta be able to either pick up the information and run with it, right? Like, we can't hold your hand through it. We done did everything that we possibly can. From, even if you don't go to Invest Fest, just watch YouTube. We got enough content, right? We got seven years of content. If you're not if you not able to watch YouTube, read the book. We have a New York Times bestselling book. If you can't read, then listen to the audio, right? Like, at a certain point in time, you have to be able to figure this out. Like, there's nothing more we can really say at a certain, like, we can't really tell you much more. Sometimes in life, you don't need to hear more information. You just got to actually do better as a person. We done gave you enough information. It's like cigarettes. If you still need to figure out why you shouldn't be smoking cigarettes at this point, it's not going to happen for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you done seen all 20 years, they had commercials about lung cancer and people on ventilators and all types of shit. And it costs $14 to even get a pack of cigarettes. Now they got so many different taxes and all that. If you, in 2025, and you're an adult and you're making a decision to smoke cigarettes, that's a decision that you consciously are making, right? You're living with that decision, and you got to live with the consequences of that.
I feel like you came to the realization or the understanding that you can't save everybody.
No.
Right?
You're not supposed to.
It's funny because, like, in my mind, it's like, I want to save everybody.
You can't save anybody. You can provide people with the information. They got to save themselves. Like, you can't save anybody. You literally can't save anybody, because if somebody's not willing to do the work, if somebody's not willing to actually put forth the effort, if somebody's like, only thing that you can do is give them the raft. It's like if we in the ocean, right? Like you can give somebody a life vest. You can give somebody a raft, but they still got to paddle their feet. They still got to put some level of effort in. Like you physically trying to carry somebody, you're going to end up drowning.
Yeah. My brother told me that early. I was, doing classes and teaching, and I'm like, yo, G, I don't know what else I can tell him. I don't know if I can save him. He's like, only Jesus saves. Just do the work. You know what I mean? Just do the work. Keep doing the work. That's why I said it's always going to be about the work. How much value can we add? Who can we impact? The people that are going to gravitate to it, they're going to be like-minded. So if you in the presence of 20,000 people who are like-minded with just like you, right? They're not, oh, it's my last. No, there is not going to be another concentration of people that look like you who are like-minded. Find it in the world. It don't exist, which is why it was created. You got to take advantage of that.
No, it's definitely special. And that's why I was wondering, like, how do we get people to understand, I guess, how special it is for those that really don't get it, right? For the naysayers, for the critics. Because I do believe you could turn a critic into a believer. Like, and I'm like, how do we get that through people's mind?
I tell people come experience it, man. I tell people come experience it. Like I said, it's $250. We've given out scholarships to people. We've given out to HBCUs in Atlanta.
Free tickets, everything. I didn't see it. Yeah.
Just to come see it because I want them to experience it. And the reason why is because you're going to see it in person, like that networking that happens, right? The commonality that happens, seeing people that look like you, that are creating businesses, that want to start businesses, that are looking for partners, that are looking for investments, right? On top of it, you're going to see some of the people that you've watched all year, right? This is the Super Bowl of finance. This is it. Like the people you've watched on YouTube and you look up to and you're getting information from, they're there. The people that you watch in the sports world, they're there. The people that you're going to see from your city or your town that are in business, they're there. Everybody that you need, if you're trying to get on the right path in terms of entrepreneurship or they're in this building. Why wouldn't you be there?
So is Steve Harvey a part of this now?
Yeah, he's a partner in InvestFest.
How the hell did y'all do that?
When we met him, he was somebody that was a very pivotal interview for us. And,
that shit was crazy. One of the best. My bad. That was one of the best interview. I'm still to this day, bro.
Appreciate
that was fire, bro. For real.
So
no cap.
We met him. It was just like chemistry off the bat. Like we was talking to him for 2 hours before the interview. The interview was 2 hours. We spoke to him for like 2 hours after. So we spent like 6 hours at his home. He just took a liking to us, his whole team, to BD Stevens, who's his business manager. He's the one that introduced us. So he was like, yo, I want to do something with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Just as an OG. I mean, I think if you're looking from Steve Harvey's standpoint, I mean, he's probably worth over $200 million, right? So I don't think it's necessarily like a money thing. He just like, yo, I rock with y'all. Like y'all got, you know what I'm saying? Y'all got an audience that I don't have. I want to figure out how I can help. How can I be of help? And then we like, all right, let us think about it. And we came back with InvestFest. We like, yo, that was the second year of InvestFest. So looking to scale from the first year that we did it. And we felt like, obviously, if he helped, then that could help take it to the next level. And he was like, yeah, I'm in. So that was a pivotal year. Second year, he got us Tyler Perry. And then he came also.
It's just crazy. I'm just listening. Like, it's crazy.
And that was like a big jump in attendance from year one to year two. So yeah, that's kind of how the whole relationship started.
So when we talk about the relationship, did this come like right after the interview, or was this like after he seen the performance? Because the performance
it was before the interview. It was right after the interview. He said, I want to do something with y'all. He's like, yo, we gonna make some money together, man. I like y'all. I want to do something with y'all. So
did y'all believe him?
Yeah.
He had it all laid out for us. I think he was doing the Hoodie Awards prior, and that had stopped. And he always wanted to get back into the live event space outside of just doing like stand up, which he was kind of like, all right, should I go on tour for that? And so we had looked at like, we have this event, and when we said it to him, he just loved it. And like you said, that conversation, that 3-hour conversation post interview, that was pretty much it. It was right there. We create the ideas. All right, let's figure out how we're gonna make this work.
Damn.
Yeah, Dan Cathy too. We got us Dan Cathy that first year.
Was that the biggest relationship that y'all built this for? Because I remember y'all announced Diddy. That shit was crazy.
Yeah, that was another pivotal moment.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was another pivotal moment for sure. I would say Steve Harvey definitely one of the biggest because he's also indirectly related to Robert Smith. The first time we met Robert Smith in person was because of Steve Harvey. So, yes, I would say. I mean, we've had a lot of we had a lot of great relationships that we built in big moments, but that probably would be the most impactful.
You know what else I just thought about? 50 Cent. Was that the same year as Diddy or no?
That was next year.
was
That was last year.
50 was last year.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
So if you got to rank it, it's fun. I know y'all got a relationship with these guys. You had to rank it. Who was number one? Like out of Diddy, 50, and Steve Harvey.
Number one is, I would say,
in terms of what?
Impact and relationship. Just whatever.
The biggest moment that we've had is when Diddy took the stage. You could take that for what it is. There's a variety of different factors. We were in a different hall that held more people, but that's the biggest moment in InvestFest history. That's just a fact.
Crowd, yeah. Large, yeah.
Does that sometimes does that hurt in business? I know we hear things, but sometimes that shit just be
What's that?
people talking. Like the relationship, and then when something happened, like with the Diddy shit that just happened, does that hurt in business moving forward? Like now y'all connected this man.
No, I mean at the end of the day, we can't control what somebody does. Like we had just met Diddy, and I'll say this: like he never did anything wrong to us. It was a positive relationship, but it's not like we're personal friends with him. It's not like, you know what I'm saying, like we are somebody that has been cool with him for 20 years, something like that. So, you know, we had developed a relationship with him. He came to InvestFest, big moment.
Yeah. We were on Revolt, obviously.
He did everything that was required as far as showing up. He did stuff that wasn't required. He walked up in the marketplace. You know, he did everything, but
Didn't he donate?
he gave us money. We were supposed to invest the money for him, but that money never came.
Okay.
Because that's shortly after that is when everything happened.
Okay.
So we never actually got the money, but it wasn't a donation. It was supposed to be like a fund. Like he wanted to give us $1 million of his money to invest for him. And then the proceeds of that, we was going to split 50-50. 50% was going to go to us to see whatever we wanted to do with it. And then 50%, his proceeds was going to go to charity.
Yeah. It was like a whole series. We'll create a content series around it, showing like how we can turn this investment into that. Real estate, it was going to be a whole thing. We just never got the money never came through. And he wanted to. It wasn't any type of situation where it was bad business on his part. Anytime we dealt with Revolt, any part of his team, it was always good business. Like he never did anything crazy to us. It just didn't happen because obviously.
Okay. I thought the 50 Cent year was a big one because like,
well, that's what,
people
so
love 50.
I was going to say, so it depends on how you look. So the biggest moment was Diddy. To me personally, the best speaker that we had was 50. And that was a big moment also. But 50 was very engaging. You were there?
Yeah.
I love this. So he was engaged. You know, 50's a showman. So he gets up, you know, he talked to the crowd, he make jokes. I felt like if the DJ would have put a beat on, he would have started rapping.
It was
like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's an ultimate showman, performer. When the lights is on, he gonna perform. That's why Magic Johnson this year is gonna be interesting because he's another one. You ever seen Magic speak?
Nah,
he's
Magic. He one of the ones. Like he gets up, he talks. Like he's some people are trained, like speakers, right? And then some people are like Tyler Perry, not necessarily a trained speaker. I think he did a great job, but you could tell he doesn't speak regularly. Like you could tell, like he doesn't really speak regularly, right? But like Steve Harvey, for instance, he knows how to tell jokes, interact with the crowd. You know what I'm saying? Like you could tell he's been doing this for a long time in front of an audience. Whereas just because you're successful, you might not be comfortable speaking in front of thousands of people. But Magic is one of those people he's very well versed in speak because he does this a lot. He's been doing it for a long time, so he puts on a show.
He can control the crowd this way. He can control the court. I think another big moment. Last year had some really big moments, but our pitch competition last year, right?
Yeah,
that was just like, I mean, it was the first time we had done it. And so to see the audience participation, to see how much people responded to trying to be into the competition, and to see the 4 people that made it to the finals get up on stage to present in front of that crowd, it was just a dope moment. So doing that again.
This just for me. I'm curious. Do y'all have a favorite speaker for us? Probably not a celebrity, because there's 2 people that I've seen that the crowd went crazy for, and they wasn't like
last year or in general.
In general.
I think
that hit the stage though. That hit y'all stage.
Well, Ian always does a great job
for sure.
He always causes a frenzy.
Yeah, I love his joints.
X, she does technology.
Yes.
She was like a crowd favorite last year. Like a lot of people, I didn't even see her, but everybody was telling me like, yo, she was great. She did a great job. So those is 2 people.
Who would you say?
I mean, I guess he's a kind of a celebrity. I think what Rich Paul did a few years ago was incredible.
Oh, that was good.
I think that was one of the.
That was good.
He went crazy.
That was good.
We had sat down with Rich before and long
He
form
smoked
content.
it.
And then when he got on stage, we was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
And then I remember watching.
But he's a celebrity though.
I know. I think Terica.
I was about.
Oh,
Yo, you said the name, bro. I swear to God, that's where I was going.
Her performance a couple years ago was. I was sitting in the audience watching that. And
Oh
was like,
my God.
Oh wow.
Oh my, bro. It gave me chills thinking about it, bro, because it was so relatable. Like she was like, people could still. Oh my.
I told her right after. I got her phone number and all that right after. I'm like, yo, that was different.
Bro, you hit the nail on the head. That's exactly the person I was gonna say. Yeah, bro, she is special, bro.
Shout out to her.
Bro, she's special, man. So wait, hold up. Cause you said you trying to get in, you're hustling, trying to get in and get out. So wait, is this coming to an end? Like how many?
I mean, you never know. Nothing is promised. Like, you know what I mean? That's why
that's how you get the ticket sales.
But that's a fact though.
Urgency.
We don't know. We really honestly don't know from a variety of different standpoints, not just from that standpoint, but from like, like it's almost over. Like not just from us, but the world as we know it is almost over. It's almost over. So we don't know what this world is going to look like 10 years, 5 years from now. We really don't. Like I'm not just saying that to be an alarmist. We really don't know.
Yeah.
Like things is moving so quickly.
As somebody to my audience, man, that's like, I pride myself on being relatable and like still being a nigga, right? Like, I definitely think it's something that you should go to. Even if you're in the hood, you watch me, I think it's something that you should go to because the experience alone is different, right? Like, then when you network, and especially in that marketing area, bro, like what a vendor space is special, bro. Like, I mean, it's something that I've never seen before. I think I encourage everybody to go that little 250, even if it's hard. I ain't about to say little because I know niggas work hard for that bread. Yeah. If you can get it, bro, I promise you, it'll be worth it. Even if you can't make it back right then and there, you can if you focus, right? But for people that might be lazy, even if you don't get it back, it's worth the experience. I promise.
And this VIP night as well. I know you're probably going to be there. And there's a lot of ancillary things. I think InvestFest has created something for Atlanta where people know that it's about to happen, and so events are happening. And we got some things that we're adding for the people to come to. It's going to be dope.
And y'all good people, bro. I know, like, people get a lot of shit for being standoffish or whatever, but, like, bro, he a New York nigga. Like, relax. Like, chill out. And, like, AB, like, I just want to say that because, like, bro, I met AB, bro, and from day one, he's been a real, like, bro, some things can't happen, right? Yeah. And he's always communicated, like he's been a real nigga, bro. Like I just want to say that, on camera. I know he probably don't get a lot of FaceTime, whatever, pause, whatever. But I just want to say, for real, I want to, because I think I told you this last year. I'm like, yo, I appreciate you, bro. Like for always just being a real nigga. Yeah. Like if you can't do something, it ain't like he got me everything I asked for, right? Yeah. But he'll let me know, like, bro, I can't do that, bro. So I appreciate you. Yeah. Appreciate y'all, man.
Appreciate you,
since
man.
day one, always been love.
We've been trying to do this for like almost over a year, so that talks about the power of persistence.
And I'm on InvestFest now. It's fucking lit.
You did.
What you got planned?
It's lit. We supposed to do the conversation with Ray Daniel, and I was
oh boy, that's gonna be fun.
That's gonna be crazy, bro. Man, it's crazy, man.
That's dope. But we sat down with you. What was that? 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Yeah.
I remember going back. I'm like, yo, Dave, this is this guy, and he's like, I know him. I'm working with him. I'm like, keep an eye on him. He's gonna be special. So like when you reached out, I think last year and we couldn't get it done. I'm like, yo, we got to get it done at some point. So I'm happy that we finally sat down.
Bro, I appreciate y'all, man.
I appreciate that.
I mean it. Like I said, I don't care if y'all think it's great. I'm just being real because that's how. And I didn't know how much I was a fan until I sat down because they say some of the best interviews people you fans of, and I didn't get a chance to like really write down stuff. And I'm like, bro, in my mind, like I got mad questions. Like it's mad shit I want to know. But man, much success to y'all. I hope this is the best one. You know what I'm saying? The biggest one. I really wish y'all nothing but success. I appreciate y'all for pulling up. And I think that's all we got, man. Did y'all have anything else?
It's gonna be the biggest one. Jay gonna be there. Magic Johnson gonna be there. Jack Dorsey gonna be there. Charlamagne the God gonna be there. Issa Rae gonna be there. Ian Dunlap, 19 Keys will be there. I mean, it's gonna be crazy. AI is gonna be at the forefront of it. We talking crypto. We talking stocks, obviously. We talking real estate. We talking a lot, man. So make sure that y'all get y'all tickets. InvestFest.com.
Appreciate y'all again, man. For I mean,
love, man.
Yeah, man.